Yo, it's your man Jam C.
Yo, it's your favorite Republican like our republic.
And the squad is up. That's what we
And
do.
we
That's
up,
what we
you
do.
know. It's good with you, kid.
I'm good, man. I cannot complain, yo.
Yeah,
A lot of I'm trying to diet. I'm
I
trying to
need
diet.
to.
I'm trying to not so much. I think when we use the term diet, we think in terms of losing weight. I don't think. I mean, I guess is I guess a diet is a loss of something. So I'm trying to lower my sugar intake, which I find it difficult to do. Um, because you gotta, process sugar. I say that. So I'm trying to lower that, and it's a little bit difficult to do when everything you eat has sugar in it. Processed or met or natural is hard. So I'm working on that.
Nah, I've been doing the same thing. I've been meeting with my nutritionist, and certain things that we eat, like you said, they turn into sugar, pastas,
Yeah,
rice, and stuff like that. And I've been eating hella pasta,
yeah,
and what she says is you have to have an equal balance of it. Like you can eat it, right? But you have so many grams of this and so many
that
grams of
part.
that,
That's
so
the
many
part.
grams of this.
That's the
So the
part.
portion control. So basically, if you have like, let's say a lasagna, right? You got to have a certain part of it, a certain portion of it
Mm-hmm.
to fit within the diet, whereas
Mm-hmm.
though you're not, overdoing it. You know what I'm saying, and saturating yourself and all that. Too much of it is then you just it's too much of it turn into sugar. As opposed to if you ate just the right amount, it wouldn't affect your sugar level like that. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
So when you overindulge in it, then it impacts your sugar. But when you do the right amount of it, then you good to go. Good to
Got
go.
you. Got you. Got you.
But nah,
Okay.
that's a good little, I guess journey you on.
Yeah, I'm trying. I mean, I hate to use the term trying. I try to take that out of my vocabulary. I'm working on taking on that out my vocabulary and don't say try, say I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I am. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. So today, what brings us here today?
Well, one, we talking because we got lips. That's what we do.
Absolutely, as we do, as we should.
The second thing is we were throwing around the topic of what life is after divorce,
Well,
right?
after I would say divorce, and slash long term
A long-term
relationships.
relationship.
Yeah.
What life is like after breakups, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've had plenty of breakups in my days.
As of I.
I've had two divorces, uh, and each one was different, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that um, both times, I was just I was starting from ground zero. Like I was
Okay.
depleted financially, I was depleted emotionally, I was depleted mentally,
Mm-hmm.
spiritually was shot. Like everything, just just I was depleted from it because I know, like, and I can just speak on my last divorce is where I put so much into that situation. I poured so much into that person, whereas I wasn't feeding myself. And so, being that I wasn't feeding me and giving it all to them, when they left, it was just like I had nothing left because I was giving it to them anyway. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So, go ahead. That's
So
that's
no, I
what I'm
want to ask
saying.
you a question. When you say that, when you say giving everything to that person, like for people who don't know or may not know what that means, like give me an example when you say you're giving, yeah,
Yeah,
so much to the
perfect,
person.
perfect. Yes, that's a great question. And to give context of what I mean by everything is that I forgot about myself and I was pouring more into them and not worrying about myself,
Mm-hmm.
focusing on the things that I needed to do, focusing on the things that will better me as an
Mm-hmm.
individual. And so that's why when the divorce was final and I was just out, stuck like Chuck, like credit wasn't the best.
Mm-hmm.
Financially, I was busted. I was popped. Financially, I was popped. Um, Emotionally done. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And mentally, just trying to put it all together because my divorce. Well, this because I didn't get divorced right away, but because divorce takes time. But
Just the split overall. Yes.
my separation happened like a month after my mother passed away.
Wow.
So then a lot of mental
Yeah. It's like.
stuff that I had to deal with, and it was a lot. It was not easy. So I gave all that. So I'm so busy pouring into the house financially, you know what I'm saying, making sure I'm being the provider that I need to be
Mm-hmm.
as the man, and being the provider mean I was giving everything that I had and wasn't able to put nothing away for myself. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
In some cases, I didn't really necessarily need my credit or use my credit, but nor did I build it either. You
Yes.
understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that that was going down. Emotionally, I could just say I wasn't. Um, I just needed to grow emotionally in that area. But what the little bit of emotions and stuff that I did have, I gave it to them. You know, I fed it to them, and was giving it to the relationship, thinking that this is what the relationship needed.
Mm-hmm.
But the relationship really needed me to be stand out on my own as an individual, right? And they stand on their own as an individual, and we
Mm-hmm.
come together as a
Uh,
together
to make a
and
whole.
make a whole. So that's a half, I'm a half, we come together to make a whole. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? And I lost sight of that. You know, I just lost sight of all of that, and I can't blame. Um, I won't blame my ex for any of that. I
Mm-hmm.
can't blame them or point the finger at her for anything, because it was I willingly gave all these things. I
Exactly.
willingly let my stuff fall by the wayside. I was willingly not
Mm-hmm.
being on top of the things that I needed to do for myself.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So I can't fault them for that. I was just so busy wanting to make sure that they were okay and focusing on them and making sure that I was giving them what they needed. When reality, you know, I probably should have been doing more for what I needed as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to giving them what they needed. So,
And that makes perfect sense. And I think like and what I want the listeners, the viewers to understand is that when you're in relationship, long term relationships, this is not this particular topic that we talk about today is not to blame anybody. Is really just taking self accountability on the part you play and what
mm-hmm,
you do after learning from this
mm-hmm,
experience, because
mm-hmm,
it's not just a man thing, it's a woman thing too. It's two people in a relationship.
mm-hmm,
So it doesn't this is not just we're just giving our own journey. It's
correct.
so there are females who've been given their all and lost and put to,
Mm-hmm,
so it's not
mm-hmm,
just this not just
mm-hmm.
a man thing, but this is just coming from a man perspective. You know what
Well,
I'm saying? Who's been in that situation.
no, basically just it. In so many words, just see it through my lenses,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
how I
exactly.
see it. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Because I
Exactly.
can't speak for every man, because every man probably didn't go through what
Good.
I
And
went
that's what I'm
through.
saying.
You
So
know what I'm saying?
and
So
because in another case it could have been the wife or the girlfriend who was put more into a situation willingly.
yeah, but
Because
I wanted to say this too, though. When you say giving a male's perspective, no, I'm not giving the male's
you're giving your
perspective. I'm giving
perspective.
my perspective,
Got
because
you.
I'm not speaking for every
Man,
man,
got you.
because every man didn't do what
Got
I
you.
did, or
Facts.
every man's situation
It's different.
wasn't like mine. So I
Facts.
can't. I'm not.
Facts.
I don't want to sit here and
And
carry
make
the
it, yeah.
whole man. You know what I'm
Varsity
saying?
jacket
No,
for men.
I don't
I
want to
got you.
carry, no, because that ain't what I'm
I
here to
got you.
do.
I
Or
got you. I
no,
got you.
nor am I claiming that that's
I
everybody's
got you.
story.
I got you.
Everybody's story is different. They have to write their own story. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Mine was a little bit similar to your situation, and by no means, I don't blame my ex for anything, because the one thing I did was take accountability. You know, because I'm such a giver. I'm a giver individual, and sometimes and I give a lot of myself. So sometimes when I can only speak for me, the way that Jam C is, sometimes I give too much to the point where I do forget about myself. I do think sometimes that I've never known how to be selfish. You know what I'm saying? I'm very selfless. So that becomes difficult because you get into relationships and you giving. And sometimes that could be draining and not know how, and then you leave nothing else for self. because you give it all to not just your counterpart, but if there's if I have a child, we had a blended situation, so I wasn't only giving to my household, but I was giving to other households. My daughter lives someplace else, so I'm being the same person to her. I'm like that with everybody, and not and somewhere
Hmm.
I lost me in all of that. You know what I'm saying?
No,
So
no, not everybody, because you forgot one person.
me,
There
yeah.
you
So that
go.
part, yeah. So every
Everybody around
you,
you,
yeah,
you know what I'm
was getting
saying?
it, and so so for me, and to your point, I wasn't focusing on my credit. I wasn't focusing on my finance. Everything stayed the same. So when I came in, it was like, let's say if I'm here, as far as what I had came in, it was that. When I left, it was that. You know what I'm saying? So it never moved. Meanwhile, I feel like everybody else to some extent benefited in some things, but again, it was not nobody. No one's to blame for that but myself.
But I want to say this as a disclaimer, because you just never know if any of the exes is listening, and they hopefully they are,
Mm-hmm.
right? And just this is a disclaimer. This is not pointing finger or
No,
pointing blame at
nobody.
nobody, and again, it's just our point of view, right? Granted, I'm pretty sure your version of it is different,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you're more than welcome to come on and tell your version. You
Yes.
understand what I'm saying? But this just this is no this is no nothing subliminal being said towards nobody. This is no shots being taken at nobody.
Mm-mm.
This is none of that. This is just how we experience life after a breakup,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'm pretty sure with our little bit of research amongst, what we've done and having conversations with others, they have experienced some of the same things. Some of the same things. Now I'm saying that everything lined up the exact same way, but some of the same things. And I think that if we're not careful as men today in society, we're going to get ran over, we're going to get taken advantage of if we don't stand up for what we believe in, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that there's no compromise in relationships or marriages. Yes, there is. There has to be in order
Mm-hmm.
for a relationship to be successful, right?
Yes.
But if if you're going against something that you believe in, something that that's against your morals and values, and that's on you. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you ain't taking care of you, that's on you. You
Absolutely.
understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That ain't nobody else. You can't blame nobody else for
No,
that.
not
You
at all.
understand what I'm saying? There are probably things and situations and relationships that happen that we probably don't like as a whole. But again, we didn't like it, but we allowed it to happen. So we
Mm-hmm.
to blame for
For
that.
that.
Yeah, we gotta
Exactly.
we gotta blame ourselves for that. We
Exactly.
can't blame nobody else for that.
Exactly.
You understand? So
Exactly.
I just wanted to be clear that nobody is pointing any fingers at nobody.
Mm-mm.
Nobody. Not how many bodies? Nobody is getting the finger pointed
Exactly.
at them. But
Exactly.
the only person that the finger is getting pointed at is the one that I see in the mirror, which is me. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Myself too.
that
Yes.
is
Absolutely.
it. That is
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely.
Nothing but love to the exes. Nothing but love. Nothing but respect. We have mutual conversations. We have
Mm-hmm.
mutual respect for each other. You understand what I'm saying? They may feel that um, life is better without me, and I mean, whatever it is, nothing but the best. I wish them nothing but the best, nothing but love, everything on their end. It should be. I wish nothing but the best for them.
And I share that sentiment. I share that sentiment as well. But now moving forward, because your situation was a lot more far off than mine as far as your timeline. How were you able to move forward?
Huh.
Like as far as being out here in the, once you, because you have to process that emotion. You have to process it. Then you have to figure out, how do I move on? And then when you move on, how is it out here once you move on? Because understand, and what I suggest to anybody is, you don't jump to another situation.
I mean, again, I can't give advice on that either. If that's what you see, that's what you need to do. Some people feel like to get over one is to get under another. So I'm not here to say that's right, wrong, or indifferent. I only can speak on my
Mm-hmm.
experience, right? And your question is, how did I get over it and how did I move on? I'll be brutally honest. Blackout shades, blackout curtains,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Blackout curtains kept the room so dark that it kept me dark.
Got you.
You know, it
Yeah.
kept me dark. It kept me in a dark space, right?
Mm-hmm.
And promise you, done moved out, whatever, going on, doing my own thing. I'm pretty sure they doing their own thing. And for at least a year out of that situation, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna get back together. We're gonna blah 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 blah. Just so happened I get a alert on the phone, fucking a whole nother relationship.
Mm.
Motherfucker got married.
Oh shit.
Got
Wow.
married. I seen it through not a picture that came through. I don't know if it was meant to come through or it came through accidentally,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But it came through and I seen it, and then that's when it was like, all right, boom,
Clicked.
that situation is dead, right? That shit is
Yeah.
over. That shit is dead. And so then at that point, it's like, all right, get up off your ass, right?
Yeah.
Not
Mm-hmm.
get up off your ass to look for another relationship, but get up off your ass to start doing what you need to do for you.
Yeah.
Start making you stronger.
Mm-hmm.
It's like calisthenics, right?
Mm-hmm.
You start off with doing 10 push-ups, and then you move to 15, and then you
Mm-hmm.
do the 20, then you do
Mm-hmm.
25, and then it's like that. So it was progression as far as feeling good within myself, feeling confident with myself,
Mm-hmm.
started loving myself more. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? It started being progressions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so as time went on, you know, I started to love myself. And as I started to love myself, you start meeting people here and there, and then you start seeing some of your mistakes that you were making in the
Mm-hmm.
past, meaning like for me, more so how you talk to people and
Yes.
how you deal with conflict, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And I'm like, no, as time goes on, you learn that no, that ain't the way that you should be dealing with that. You should kind of deal with that a little different, blah blah
Mm-hmm.
blah. You know what I'm saying? So that's as time goes on. And then again, as time went on, I began to get more and more stronger. Took them black down curtains out. No, them
Yeah.
shits gotta go. Them shits
Yeah.
gotta go, right?
Yeah.
And change them to something more airy, more fresh, more light, and it gives you a different it get me
Mm-hmm.
different perspective on life, and it made me see things different. And it just made you one thing about, I would say, in any relationship, it definitely um it gives you resilience. It builds you tap into a deeper part of yourself that you didn't even know that you had, because you may feel like, not me, but I felt like I was definitely at my lowest, and I just didn't want to, like, it was dark for me, man. It was definitely dark, probably the darkest I probably ever seen in my life. You
Mm.
understand what I'm saying? So you build that inner strength, that inner, nah, I gotta do this. Not I'm doing this to show them, but I gotta do this for me. You
Exactly.
understand?
Yeah.
I ain't in a competition with them. I ain't trying to show off nothing. I ain't trying to brag. I ain't trying to do none of that. I just
Mm-hmm.
trying to show that I could do what I need to do for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it. And it took time though. It just took time and sitting back and paying attention to what's going on, and eventually it all came together. You know what I'm saying? It all came together.
And that's that is to be commended, because I think when you go through a breakup, when you've been with somebody, for this person for years, for a long period of time, you guys have, it becomes a, I don't like to say a level of comfort, but it's who you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just it's not just knowing self, but it's the person that you've been with for such a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you lose that consistency, and it's an emotional connection, you start experiencing all kind of emotions. You got some depression, some, you lose some of yourself. So now you got to rebuild. You got to learn to love yourself a little bit more, and to get to the point where you love yourself a lot more. So that's why I said, I was reading this, and they were saying, like, psychologists was basically saying some of what I said. When you leave, when you come out of a long term relationship, they suggest that you not go into another one until you process those emotions you just came out of.
Mhm.
So because otherwise you just take those things, you don't do anything, you don't unpack those emotions, and you lateral move into another
Mhm.
situation, and what
Mhm.
happens is you start comparing those relationships. So that you you have to learn to take accountability, play everything out, because you took time. So you played
Mhm. Mhm.
you relived your life memory to
Mhm.
see where you made the mistakes, not
Mhm.
her.
Mhm.
You were accountable. So, and that's what I actually learned from you. So
Nah.
so it's to sit back, take some accountability in the part you
Yes.
played.
Definitely.
When you start getting into another relationship, I know for me, when I get into another relationship, I'm not going to compare that person with the person
Nah.
that I was dealing with
Nah.
before. I'm
Nah.
not going to compare those situations with the situation, because now you know to be proactive. Wherever I made the mistake at before, I know I'm not going to do that in this situation, because that mistake I made is what led to this.
But I think that's another point. You just brought it to my memory, and that kind of helped me get over it once I was able to start taking accountability as opposed to pointing a finger. They did this, you did this,
Exactly.
and once I
Exactly.
was able to, once I stopped doing that and just start saying, no, I did this, I did this, I did that, I did
Mm-hmm.
that. Once I was able to start doing that, then everything became on 10 times. Everything became 10 times easier
Mm-hmm.
because I wasn't blaming somebody else, right? So then now, if I could take accountability, if I'm taking accountability, which I have, now I'm able to see the areas where I was lacking in that situation,
Exactly.
where I lacked in that situation. I see where I could have done things better. I see where I could have
Exactly.
said something, where I should have spoke up and where I should have said something. I see the times where I should have stood my ground. I see the times where I should have stood down. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because now I'm accountable. You understand? I'm
Mm-hmm.
being accountable for it, right? Whereas though, in real time, you don't see it. And you don't see it, you just living in real time and you taking it as it go. And then when you started getting into other situations, now you're more mindful when a similar situation come up. You be like, all right, how I'm gonna react to that? You understand what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Do I dig into my old me or do I start practicing my new
New
stuff?
shit.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And then that's growth. That's what you
Exactly.
call that's what you call growth, as opposed to just you know continuing doing the same thing over and over again. And I guess that will go into the the under the notion of the theory of what the psychologist and therapist says, deal with those emotions, because if you don't deal with them, you're going to repeat them. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that part of it is, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Even
So
even when it comes to how you communicate,
definitely,
and being
definitely,
proactive with your
definitely,
communication and standing on something,
definitely.
because you don't have to compromise everything. Because
Nah,
sometimes we compromise red
too
flags. You know
much.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like you don't have to compromise everything. If you see something you don't like, say something. What
That
they say,
part,
see something, say something.
that part.
So it's the same thing. We can have a healthy dialogue if it's something I didn't care for, because a lot of times we tend to, and it's on both parts, not just on my part, but on her part too. I'm sure, I had red flags, and it probably was like, when, what I'm saying, regardless of what it is or what it was, it's like, now, if there's something that doesn't make you feel comfortable, speak on it.
I think too, even like going forward and exploring new relationships,
Mm-hmm.
right? The vetting process has to be done efficiently, right? Meaning that you ask them tough questions in the beginning. Yo,
Yeah.
how do you deal with conflict? Yo, how do you see the financial? How do you see the things are being taken care of financially in a household? What's
Mm-hmm.
their opinion? How they see that? How do you
Mm-hmm.
see um living situations, right? Do you want to live together? Do you want to keep your place? Do I keep my place? You understand what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Do you want to do you want to get married? Do you want a big wedding? Do you want a small wedding? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Integrating other families and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? All those are your family oriented. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, um all these things have to should be asked before you start, and you should be entertaining them like early on in the in the process. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? As opposed to just saying, "Oh no, she cute, she funny, she this, she that, he this, he that," and then in the honeymoon stage, everybody's what you looking
For
for
yeah.
until
Absolutely.
that part wear off,
Yeah.
and then you get to start seeing the real them. You be like, "Oh, this motherfucker's a beast bitch." You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it is. I just think for me going forward is that the vetting process of it and not allowing. I mean, letting emotions kick in, but not letting emotions take over. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I want
Mm-hmm.
my emotions to kick in where I can feel something, but I also want to be rational with what I feel.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And if something don't feel right, don't move forward.
Yeah.
And another thing that I'm guilty of too, is just I need to extend grace, right? And
Mm-hmm.
what I mean by that is if somebody sees if somebody sees this shirt to be lime green, I need to allow them to see it as lime
Green, you're
green.
right.
That's their
Absolute
thing.
facts.
That's how they see
See
it.
it.
I
Facts.
ain't got. I could pull out a million tools. Now one of them gonna fix with the way they see this shirt. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
The way they see this shirt. So extending grace and allowing people to just be who they are, that I needed when I work on me, I needed to learn that aspect of it as
Absolutely.
well, like how to just extend grace and knowing that just because people don't see things the same way I see it doesn't mean it's wrong. That's just their
Exactly.
opinion. Just respect it. You know what I'm saying?
It's what I call let's agree to disagree.
Yo, I've learned so much, man. Like
Yeah, I'm learning. I'm
especially
learning now.
learning that when you have it, first of all, learning that every situation will have a disagreement.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Secondly, knowing that if you vetting this person and they want to argue to win, then it's probably not your person. Well,
Yeah.
I can't say that it's not your person, but I tell you that wouldn't be a person
For
for
me.
me. Not somebody that just want to win an argument, as opposed to wanting to understand how I feel or
Yes.
understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't have to agree with it, but just understand it. That's
But
all that
and
I'm
that goes
saying.
back to what you just said with the giving grace.
Correct.
Because giving grace has to work both ways. The only thing, only type to for me, this is just my opinion. Only type of arguments that are meant for right and wrong is when you decide like what team you like, who you think is going to win the game. Because if your team loses, that's actually correct. Because it's only one way. It's only one way it's going to happen. Somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to lose. That's a sporting event. But when it comes to fit of in the affairs of emotion and how you feel about something, there's no right and wrong in that. Is
No,
you can only agree to disagree, but you can't be like, okay, I was right because I was wrong what you did, or you're wrong to feel a way. Nobody can tell you how to feel.
I look at it like this: is in any argument, nobody is wrong.
No, it's not. Not
Nobody
when
is
no,
wrong in any argument
no.
because this person is right because this how they
They feel
feel,
exactly.
right? This person is right because this how they feel,
You
right?
just
You
have
just have
to
to
understand
understand
and
where they
respect each
coming
other's
from and
feelings.
let's respect it.
And if you can't understand, then maybe you could sit and try to. I like to. I'm a person. Sometimes I try to put myself in your shoes.
Correct.
So if that's what I always call to that. That's my call to action today. Try to look at it from another person's perspective
No,
and
not another person,
well,
from
the
their
other person, yeah.
perspective.
From
From
well,
their
I'm speaking. When
perspective.
I say I'm speaking to everybody, so for me, this is what I do. I try to put myself in your shoes based on how I made you feel. So and that's what I do. So sometimes I try to be proactive with that. So in the beginning, if it's something that I know I'm gonna do, I always say, how would this person feel if I did this? If I think it's going to be a problem, then I mean, so but that's what communication comes in at too. So let's talk about it. We don't have to argue about it. It doesn't have to be a dragged out argument or fight. It could be a discussion. Let's talk to each other, not at each other. Let's
Right.
let's let's have and if it gets heated, let's pull back from it and then come back to it later. But make sure we come back to it later. Don't sweep it under the rug because after a while that was a little lump in the rug becomes a mountain, and it never gets addressed, and it just be a bunch of stuff that becomes unresolved issues.
I think that when I think it's a flip to that coin too. When you say I want to put myself in these shoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or I want to understand how they feel, right? So I think the flip side to that would be as well, if you're doing something, right? Or if you've done something or you said something, right? You got to ask yourself, well, damn, if they said that same shit to me, how would I have felt? If they
Yeah.
had done that to me,
Mm-hmm.
how would I have felt if they done that to me? And
Mm-hmm.
if you didn't like it, then why would you
You
want to impose it on
somebody
somebody else?
else.
You understand what
Exactly.
I'm
True.
saying?
Exactly.
So that I think that's a flip side to it too, and that's a good
Absolutely.
little nugget to kind of tuck in your pocket too, to
Mm-hmm.
hold in situations when need be. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So just being thoughtful, giving grace, and and that type of thing. But it's again, it's and I think honestly, this is just my take on it. There's no right or wrong way, or you can't advise anybody um, on anything about relationships. To be honest with you,
Mm-hmm.
because every situation is different.
You're right.
Every
And to
situation
your
different.
point at the start of the show, one of the things you said was everybody's time to move on is different.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess there's no really timeline. It's whatever it takes for you,
Correct.
whatever you feel it takes for
Correct.
you. I
Correct.
would just suggest make sure you process all those emotions, take some accountability for self. Always start with self. Don't look to blame nobody for nothing, because we allow things to happen to us in some cases. I ain't gonna say
Nah,
in every case. In
definitely,
some cases we allow. So take the
definitely.
look at self, look in the mirror of self, and say, I maybe I should have did different. Maybe, I not no maybe I should have done different. I should have said this, or I should have did that. And have some self accountability first. Process all that, and then get out here in the world. If you're ready to start dating, start dating. But I don't think it's not really. It's whatever you deem as time. But
I,
don't bring that into it. Don't bring whatever negative emotions or past scars. Don't heal yourself from all of that, and don't bring those into new relationships.
I just think that a lot of breakups, divorce, whatever, they all happen because of a miscommunication,
Yes.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
one, communicate as thorough as possible,
Mm-hmm.
right? My thing is, if somebody says something, don't walk away till you clearly understand. So what do you mean by that? Are you saying this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And don't walk away till you get a full understanding of that, right? Then I think that secondly, with most times when people get divorced, they still love each other.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
95% of
Agreed.
the time when they get divorced, they
They
still love
love
each
each other.
other.
Yep.
So how could you leave something that you love? Obviously, it's a disconnect, and something that could really be rewired and fixed. But it takes two to fix it. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? It takes understanding. It takes compassion. It takes grace. It takes all those things to fix what is missing. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? But some people, some of us, we get so high up on our horse and we just like, fuck it, I'm out. Nigga,
Mm-hmm.
I could get three more of you by tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Think that
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
talking or that kind of thinking, and it ain't that easy when you get out here and get the rocking and rumbling,
No,
rolling
it's
and
not.
stuff like that. So, uh, if you, I'm gonna say this, and before we get out of here, I'm gonna say this: if your joint is on the fence and it's a little rocky, take a deep breath, put yourself in these shoes, understand what they saying, work through it. Because
Swallow that pride.
a lot of it is just a misunderstanding, somebody not hearing somebody, or somebody just not understanding what they're trying to convey, and it could become very frustrating when you're
Mm-hmm.
not being heard. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? So take a deep breath, listen, ask questions. Is this what you're saying? Do you mean this when you say that? Are
Mm-hmm.
you trying to say this? Da 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 da. Get clarity.
Mm-hmm.
Get clarity. Don't cut them off before they finish their thought. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of times you cut in before they can finish what they saying, and you start a whole nother argument because you never allowed them to finish the
Yeah,
first point.
and you don't process what's
You
being
know, the
said
process was
because
being
you cut
said.
them off from
You,
seeing
you
first
already,
things you don't like.
there
You
you
cut them
go.
up.
You
Yeah,
already got, you already
yeah,
gave them an answer to something that they wasn't even about to address.
yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So, but it's about effective listening, um, effective communicating, right? And having a grace and an understanding of the other person's feelings to get through that situation. And if I think if you can do that, you're off to a great start. You're off to
Absolutely.
a great start.
I second that. I second that. And when you feel like you're ready to get out here and start dating, get out here. Love is out here. It's for everybody.
Yeah,
It's out here. Somebody out here.
they say, well, they say it's a lid for every pot. So
Yeah.
it's a lid for every pot. So I don't know. I mean, it's love out here, but let's not get out here and make hasty decisions
Just that part. Yeah, that
because
part.
you want to be in love.
Don't
You
waste
know what I'm saying?
nobody's time. Yeah, just
Because you want to
because. Yeah,
be in
don't.
love.
Please
No,
don't.
no,
Please
no,
don't. Right?
no. Don't play
It
yourself.
becomes a trend. If they start putting that on social media, everybody start doing it. It's like everything is for self, man. Everything should be for self and not for everybody else. It's you get with that counterpart. It becomes about you too, and not about what people outside see from looking in. It's you
Hmm.
two. You guys are in the fight together. This is the person you chose to get into the fight with. So y'all not only do y'all fight each other, but y'all come together and fight the world.
No, definitely. And that's how it should be. You know what I'm saying? You should be, instead of y'all standing face to face, y'all should be standing back to back.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you get angry, you project the other way, not towards your not towards your person.
Facts.
You don't you project towards the person that made you angry, not towards your person. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I think that that's how it should be, back to back, not face to face. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, it's a tough road sledding, but I do believe that everybody will see their way through it. And
I
I wish
agree.
you guys nothing but the best and nothing but success. And I wish that there were more marriages than divorces happening these days.
Facts.
Um, and I wish that for the world, that it was more marriage, because I think we it's more hate. And I asked somebody this question the other day: is it easier to hate somebody or is it easier to love them?
Mm,
And regardless of whichever you say, I still feel like you still got to put the same effort in both.
absolutely. Yeah, you do.
Still got to put the same effort in both.
Both.
So
Yeah.
no matter what, but it just, we need more love out in
We
this world.
definitely
We
do.
just need more
We
love in
definitely
this world.
do. I wish that for everybody. My call to action is go out there and love, man. Stop hating. Go out
Man,
there and love. Communicate. Love on the person you with.
speak to somebody that you don't know.
And get
Just
it
say hi.
get therapy involved too if needed. If it's something that you want to stick this out, get a third ear. You know,
Unbiased one
so
too.
yeah, that's why therapy is so
Unbiased
important. Yeah,
one.
not nobody that
Not your
knows both for yeah,
girlfriend.
none of
Not your
that.
boy.
Yeah,
No, none
nah,
of
get a
them.
therapist. He
Good.
don't know you. He's based on whatever you guys tell him, and be honest on both fronts.
Right.
You the man, be honest. She the woman, be honest. Be honest, because that's the only way y'all gonna be able to work through that. Be honest.
That's it. That's
Listen,
it.
I got nothing else to say, but keep going vocal. Hit that like button, subscribe, share, and we got
Word.
more in store coming up.
That part. Stay tuned, my niggas.
And happy football. Football is back in effect. And again, it's your man Jam C.
It's your favorite Republican from the Republican state.
And we out. We gonna vocal peace.
Peace.
Everybody tune into the Pod Squad now.